Alright, so starting off with one of my favorite sections, and probably one of the most expensive sections of the whole collection, and the biggest would be my NES collection. So with this, I have 83 boxed games, 137 loose. Now of those games, 53 of them are games I've had since I was a kid. Stuff like Elevator Action, Excite Bike. A large majority of those are in boxes. Although some of the ones that I got back from my brother, unfortunately, aren't. That'd be Heavy Shreddin', Super Mario Land, or Super Mario World 2, not Super Mario, Super Mario Brothers 2. But for a total, and then of that amount, there's 21 duplicates. So the reason, this is the most duplicates I have of any of the systems. And the large portion of that is games that I purchased outside of the ones I had from my brother. And then just games I got in lots that I also had boxed. Stuff like Mike Tyson's Punch-Out! Or I ended up buying a boxed version of Castlevania 3. Some notable games in the collection. Of course, I gotta have the Little Samson. Although the Little Samson I have in a box, even though it's not a real box. I have the Little Samson. I got that box adventure in that lot I managed to pick up for a steal. I got a boxed Chip 'n Dale, which I Frankenstein together. Got all the Mega Mans, all the Castlevanias, Ninja Turtles, the G.I. Joes, the Contras. A few other ones here like Kickmaster, and I got Faria. There's some good games. Notable ones I've had since childhood would be the Mike Tyson's Punch-Out! Complete with the letter, the boxed Zeldas, the Gray Card Zeldas, all the Marios boxed, several black box games like Kung Fu and Popeye. We got a lot of the original NES games when we got the system. I think we picked it up, when I say we, my older brother, I was 2. My older brother got it back in I want to say 87, and the first game I ever played and never got was Rampage, which even though it's monotonous, I still love the game. But yeah, that's the NES collection. Very nice. I'm pretty dang happy with it. Having 200 of the 800 something titles, I'm pretty good. There's not much out there left that I want. Moving on to the SNES collection. With this particular collection, I like the box games more. I have less games from childhood that aren't boxed, not like the NES, but there are still some. Of the games, I have 59 loose, 61 boxed. I also have 5 boxed Japanese imports that I just picked up randomly at Savers one day. It's like a Goodwill. I have 1 PAL game. There's 43 of these games from childhood. So as opposed to the NES, where I almost doubled my collection from childhood, the NES games, it's about doubled too. Not as many, but and another funny thing, I only have 1 duplicate. So unlike the other games where I had duplicates of Cobra Triangle, RC Pro-Am, you name it, this one I only have 1 duplicate, and that is the Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. And even that is a variant. I have the Player's Choice or the Million Seller, whichever one, the different variant of Link to the Past. I picked that up when I reviewed it for the channel back in 2015 because I couldn't bear to erase any of the save files I had on my current cartridge. Yeah, so that brings us to a total of 120. Now, my SNES collection also has a lot of the heavy hitters. Notably, first and foremost is the boxed Earthbound, which I managed to pick up for a steal a few years ago off eBay. I think I paid $300 for it boxed, and it was so cheap because it had Sharpie all over it, and I just had a feeling I could get that Sharpie out. And it's by no means, if you take a closer look at it, it's not the nicest box in the world, but I managed to get most of it off, and for what I paid, I'm pretty damn happy because at the time the game itself was $200, so paying $100 for the box and manual, which the manual had the scratch and sniff, I was happy. Also got games like Chrono Trigger, the Lufias, Ninja Gaiden Trilogy, Secret of Mana, Evo, Ogre Battle, all the Quintet games pretty much, the Gaia Trilogy, the ActRaiser 1 and 2, you got the Mega Man X series, Demon Crest Complete, Super Metroid, Both Joe and Max, etc. Notable games I had from childhood, a little bit less, those are more of the common games. Complete Link to the Past, Complete Mario RPG, Complete Mario World 2, Complete Contra 3, Mario Kart, stuff like that. Moving on to the next section would be the PlayStation 1. So the PlayStation 1 I have set up in 2 different ways. So instead of loose and complete, pretty much They're all complete. I mean, every once in a while you have one that doesn't have. I think my Dino Crisis 2 is missing the case or the manual, but I have it by Black Label and Green Label. I also got a couple of long box games, but I don't really. Those are in a different area. So I got 77 Black Label, 17 Green Label, 2 long boxes. Now 31 of these games I've had since I was a kid. There's one import. I have Tear Ring Saga that I just wanted to get because it was made by the Fire Emblem people. Now I got 2 duplicates. I do have a few loose games that I'm not including here, but it's mainly duplicates of, I mean, other than Medieval 1 and 2, I have that, and then Abe's Odyssey, but I picked that up in a lot when I wanted to get my Castlevania, because I found a case for Castlevania, and I found a disc separately. So I have the Greatest Hits Castlevania, and then I have a normal Black Label disc. So I guess I have the worst of both worlds, because I don't have the one that has the patches, but anyways. Notable games for this collection: I got Suikoden 1 and 2, got Alundra 1 and 2, Persona, Breath of Fire 4, Einhander, Bushido Blades, Symphony of the Night, Parasite Eves. Notable childhood games, obviously all the Final Fantasies, 7, 8, 9, Tactics, Metal Gear Solid, Resident Evil 1, 2, 3, Dino Crisis, Breath of Fire 3, both Tenchus. I really like the PlayStation. I wish I could play more of it. This is probably the one system that that and the N64, I just can't, even with the Retro Tank, I just don't enjoy playing it on modern TVs. I really am looking for a HDMI solution for both of those, so hopefully once that gets to it, I can get to these games some more. But moving on to the N64, the N64 was kind of my heyday as a collector as a kid. I bought so many N64 games. As you can tell by the breakdown here, I have 75 boxed, 33 loose, 69 of those games from childhood. And of those 69, none of them are unboxed. Every single one of the games I bought on the N64 I had boxed. What's funny is my copy of Perfect Dark went missing. So I have the box of manual for that, but I don't have the game. But luckily, when my brother let me keep his collection with mine, he had a copy of it. So I've kind of Frankensteined it with that. But yeah, I have one special cartridge. That's the ukulele Kickstarter backer thing I did with when that was. I backed it for that stupid amount of money I shouldn't have done. But that's cool. It looks like it's got a N64 flash card and all the people autographed my manual. I have 6 duplicates. There's 102 games in total. The 6 duplicates mainly came from Jen, and a couple other lots I picked up from people when they've given me their stuff or gotten rid of it. At one point I had 3 copies of GoldenEye. I found a few extra copies of Mario 64 and Pokemon Stadium. And notable games in the collection, we got Ogre Battle complete, Bomberman Second Attack loose, the ukulele edition I was telling you about, Snowboard Gets 2, Mischief Makers, Mega Man 64. Some of the notable childhood games I picked up, I mean, I got all the popular Mario titles, the golf, the kart, tennis, the parties, all 3 of them, GoldenEye, Super Smash Brothers. Some of the more unique games we got were Space Station Silicon Valley, Winback, Wet Tricks, Destruction Derby. Moving on to my PC Engine, which is my Turbo collection. I have 1 game, Rondo of Blood. We got the Dreamcast. So the Dreamcast was a funny system. I remember being super hyped to pick this up, and then once I had it, I got a few games for it and just never looked back. So I have 14 complete Dreamcast, I got 3 loose, I got 1 duplicate, and then 6 childhood games, because I didn't really have that many. There's 16 total. Notable games I got, or I managed to pick up a big lot from a guy outside of a game store where I pretty much ripped the guy off, but he didn't know what he had, and I really didn't want the games, so I picked up all the Street Fighter 3s, Third Strike, Alpha, Double Impact, the Marvel vs. Capcom 1 and 2. I got Skies of Arcadia loose, why you don't buy games from GameStop. And then childhood games, the ones I have most notable were Resident Evil Code Veronica, a game called Dynamite Cop, which I really like, no one talks about it that much, Crazy Taxi, and Sonic's Adventure. Moving on to the Genesis. The Genesis, man, I had a funny story with this. At one point, I literally only had 2 Genesis games to my name. But now I have significantly more. We got 21 loose, 54 boxed. 26 of those were childhood games. Of that, we have 1 duplicate, which is Sonic. 1 empty case, which I found in Montana a couple of years back. I think it's a tennis game. So that brings us to 74 total. Now, notable games in this collection, this is where I've definitely picked up some nice heavy hitters that I would love to get to. We got the Shining Force 1 and 2, the Konami trifecta of Castlevania Bloodlines, Contra Hardcore, Hyperstone Heist. I got Skeleton Crew, Truxton, Splatterhouse 2, Warsong, Gain Ground, so many more. Haunting starring Poltergeist and Growl. Growl is the most recent one I got. I really wanted to pick that one up. I thought Jen would like it. Now, notable childhood games would be the two I kept, which was Toe Jam and Earl and Mutant League Hockey. There's also Herzog Zwei, which ironically was a game that we had complete. Another one of the games my brother took and lost the box of manual for, but I managed to find one on Craigslist for like $20, and I swapped out the cart with my own, and I think I sold the cart just a couple months ago when I finally got rid of a bunch of my duplicates. We got Philios, another game that we had that we lost the box, and then all the Sonics, obviously. Which was funny is I thought I got rid of all this stuff, but I still had all the Sonics. I had this Spider-Man, Tasmania, Fantasia, one of the worst games ever made. I got 22 3DS games. Notable games there: Link Between Worlds, Fire Emblem Awakening, the Fates Special Edition, Fates Echoes Special Edition. I mean, I don't really focus much on the 3DS. I got some good games on it, though. And then the DS, same kind of thing. I got 16 DS games. I got Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon, Contra 4, Sealed, New Super Mario Brothers. So maybe I should get that graded since Sealed games are going nuts right now. After that, we're going to the Game Boy, and Game Boy Color. Now, Game Boy is something I've really been getting into lately. I probably doubled this in the last 6 months as far as what I had. Because currently I have 45 loose, 1 boxed game, and then 4 childhood games for 46 total. The 1 boxed is Zelda Oracle of Ages. The 4 childhood games would be that, plus Link's Awakening DX, and then Pokemon Blue and Tetris. Because at the time, we traded in all our Game Boy games to get a Super Nintendo. We had a bunch of stuff like Revenge of the Gator and Tennis and some other stuff. I'd have to check. We actually have a list. I have a list from when I was a kid that has all our games that I stopped keeping track of probably in the early 2010 or so. So I have it there. But notable games now that I have in the collection: Belmont's Revenge, Survival Kids, Mole Mania, Operation C, The Perfect Dark, Oracle of Seasons, Mario Land 1 through 3, Gargoyle's Quest, and then obviously the Noble Childhood I already went over, the Pokemon Blue, blah blah blah, Link's Awakening, Oracle of Ages. Moving on to the Game Boy Advance. Now, Game Boy Advance, I got 19 loose, 1 boxed, 5 repro, 1 childhood, and 16 total. So for the Game Boy Advance, it's kind of the same as a Game Boy. I'm getting more into it. I think once I get my analog pocket, I'll really enjoy these. The big disadvantage I think Game Boy and Game Boy Advance have is it's just not really much fun to display. You have to get something like a Zippo lighter kiosk or one of these makeup stands to make them look good, because they just, I mean, you can see here, I probably paused the footage, so I didn't take much. There's just not much going on. Notable games I got on the Game Boy Advance: Metroid Fusion, Fire Emblem Sacred Stones, Advance Wars, Circle of the Moon, Minish Cap, and then the only game I had from childhood was Super Mario Advance. I remember being so bummed when I bought this damn thing, thinking, I thought it was backlit, I don't know. I don't know. Moving on to the Repro Homebrew NES, SNES, Genesis games loose. We got 43 loose games. Notable in that, those were a lot of my early reviews came from. I still have a good amount of those that I haven't reviewed, but once I started getting cart failure, I kind of got off them a bit. But games like Treasure of the Rudris, Marvelous Another Treasure Island, Twinkle Tale, all the 8-bit Christmas carts or 8-bit Xmas carts. I got like 5 or 6 of those, or maybe not 4 or 5 of them. The Haunted Halloween 1985, a phenomenal game. You can download it off Steam if you want to play it, but a great game that can actually play on old NES. There's also Halloween 86, but I prefer 85. Front Mission, etc. Alright, from there, let's go to the Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Switch, current system, and there's no real loose or complete, it's kind of in case or not. No childhood games, because it's only been out for a few years. I got 56 Switch games. Notable games here, I got the Octopath Traveler Collector's Edition, Fire Emblem Three Houses Collector's Edition, Xenoblade 2 Collector's Edition, Fire Emblem 30th Anniversary Collection, the Curse of the Moon Special Edition, the Ukulele Limited Run Special Edition. A lot of special editions. I got the Smash Brothers one, the Smash Brothers Ultimate one. Solid system. I love collecting the Switch. I even have Darksiders, the one that came with the black case, just because it came with the black case. They got me with that. I don't know if it was a mistake or not, but I'm loving the Switch. I probably will have many more. I mean, I have 2 games that aren't here yet. I ordered the Blaster Master 0 and 02. That'll be added to it, and just continue to get games, man. I love the Switch. Underneath that, we got the Nintendo Wii. Nintendo Wii. I actually got more games than I realized. I got 45 games, 2 imports, and then 12 when I was a young adult. I wasn't a child, I was a young adult. Came out in, what, 2006? So yeah, I would have been 20. So yeah, 12 young adult games. Gets it, so like I said, 45 or 47 total if you count the imports. Notable games here, we got Xenoblade, Last Story, Mad World, Mirimasa, The Demon Blade, Okami, Ark Rise, Fantasia, Fire Emblem, Radiant Dawn, Mario Party 8, Lost in Shadow. Now, the notable games I got when I was a kid are really notable because I never owned a Wii. Ever. I had my little brother's Wii I used, and I had my roommate's Wii in college. I never picked one up. When I picked up a system in college, I picked up an Xbox 360 because at the time I was playing World of Warcraft, and why on earth would I buy a Wii when I'm playing WoW all day? So the notable games I had as a young adult were Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword, Smash Bros. Brawl, Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, and Super Paper Mario. And the Galaxies and Super Paper Mario were actually my little brothers that I think I traded some N64 duplicates to him a couple years back to get back in my collection. Yeah, the Wii it was an interesting story with me. I just never got into the motion controls, anything like that. I didn't play the Mario Kart on the Wii, and I think that's part of the reason why I'm not as big a fan of Mario Kart 8. I don't know. I don't like being able to change your kart with the different, I know you could do that a little bit in the GameCube one, but anyways, we're getting off in the weeds. Moving on to the GameCube, I did similar to the PS1, so we got 65 black label games, 4 yellow label games. Of this, 35 of them are from my childhood collection. We have 1 duplicate, which is the Mario Kart, although that's the one that has the bonus disc, and then we have 1 special edition. That special is just the Game Boy Player disc, so it's not really that special. So that brings us to 68 total games. Notable games in this, I got some of the big heavy hitters, and some heavy hitters I didn't know would be heavy hitters. So notably, we got Cubivore, Ikaruga, Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door, which I just finally picked up, F-Zero GX, another one I just picked up, Resident Evil 0 through 4. I'm missing Code Veronica, but I got all the other ones. The Game Boy Player disc, like I mentioned. The notable games I had from childhood, Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, which thank God, Metal Gear Twin Snakes, Eternal Darkness, Melee, Def Jam Fight for New York, which is rare now for some reason. I remember finding a second copy of that at Savers, the Goodwill place, a couple of years ago, and picking it up for $3. So you looked out on that one. Alright, another modern system here. We got the Xbox 360. Got 87 games for that bad boy. That one, once again, no young adult anything. I was a big fan. 360 was my gaming console of choice there from the late 2009s to around 2000, basically when the new systems came out. Got 87 games, notable games. We got the Mass Effect series, Gears of War series, all the Halos, Red Dead, Left 4 Deads, Dead Spaces, Shadows of the Damned. I mean, what do you expect? Call of Duties, stuff like that. Not much off in the weeds there. You know, I'm still looking. I have the case for Enslaved Journey to the West, but I need to find the disc. I remember I went to buy it at GameStop and they had the dang case, but they didn't have the game back there, so they said you can have the case because they were gonna throw it out. But moving on to the Wii U. Wii U, we got 33 games. Frankly, I'm surprised I have that many games for the Wii U. A system that I love the cases. I love the blue cases. That's about all I like about the system. And thank God, almost everything that came out on it is getting ported to the Switch, so I never have to go back to that system. But notable games I still have. We got Devil's Third, Funky Barn, Pikmin 3, Xenoblade Chronicles, Paper Mario Color Splash. I'm really hoping Xenoblade Chronicles gets the Switch port, because then I really have no reason to go back to this damn system. But the good thing about the Wii U is it also plays Wii games. So I still have it hooked up in my game room. Next, we got the OG Xbox. So the OG Xbox, 33 games. Every single one of these games was either found at a thrift store or gone out and purchased. And the only one that was gone out and purchased was Spy vs. Spy. So everything else I literally found. So that's pretty cool. I found 33 games. We got Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2, Jade Empire, the Halos, the Grand Theft Autos. Going on from that, we got the PS2. PS2, my original DVD player, has 64 games, but of those, only 11 were childhood games. So you can really see kind of on this, I was a big Nintendo fanboy. I did not get very many PS2 games. It was more of a DVD player. That's what I honestly used it for. But notable games, I still picked up a few. Got Yakuza 2. I got Jurassic Park Operation Genesis, which is going down in price for some reason. Got Winback 2, Twisted Metal Black, Nightmare Before Christmas. Notable childhood games, we got God of War, Burnout 3, Guitar Hero 2, GTA 3, and San Andreas, Metal Gear 2 and 3, Manhunt. I mean, the games I got, I was a big fan of. Ironically, I never got God of War 2 until a few years ago because I played my roommates in college, and it was like, well, why am I going to go and buy, like, he bought the game. He also, the same way I played Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn as he bought the game, so I'm like, well, why buy it? He already did it. Well, this, we were sharing stuff at the time. Next, we got the PS3, the system I got right as it died. For that, we have 24 games. Of those, they're pretty much the notable PS3 exclusives. There's a few out there I still want to pick up, but of those games, I got all the Uncharted's 1 through 3, Catherine, 3D Dot Game Heroes, Demon Souls, The Puppeteer, Heavy Rain. There's some good stuff in there. The Little Big Planets. Really would like to get a few more PS3 games before they start going up in price, stuff like Folklore, and I've really been intrigued by that game Lost in Rain, the American version, but that's insanely expensive. Next, we got the Xbox One. Garbage system for me, man. I really did not enjoy my Xbox One. I got 29 games for it. My favorite game on the system is a download title. Like, I'm not including any download games in this list, but notable games I got for this, I put not really, but yeah. Ori and the Blind Forest, State of Decay 2, The Dooms, The Outer Worlds, Rise, Son of Rome, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Yeah, nothing great. Let's go on. The PS4. Now, the PS4 has probably my biggest collection of modern systems after the Xbox 360, or next to the Xbox 360, because I have 100 games, but of those, 3 of them are duplicates, so that makes it 97 total. Yeah, the duplicates, I have 2 copies of No Man's Sky. That's how excited I was to play that shithole. And I got an extra copy of Furi, an extra copy of Risk of Rain. In fact, I might have another duplicate. I'm trying to think. But notable games I got: Furi, Risk of Rain, a bunch of limited run stuff, Until Dawn, the God of War Stonemason Edition. That's what it is. I have 2 God of War. So I actually have 4 duplicates. Detroit Become Human, Wonder Boy and the Dragon's Trap Collector's Edition. I mentioned the No Man's Sky Collector's Edition. And now we're getting down to the nitty gritty here. We got a few just quick hits. We got the PSP. PSP, I got 8 games. I don't even have a PSP that works, and I need one that works on a TV, but I got Metal Gear Acid, Final Fantasy Tactics, War of the Lions, Medieval Resurrection, to name a few. But the Vita, I actually have one game, which is Breach and Clear, and I won it from Limited Run Games when they first started. It was a Twitter contest where they just randomly selected 2 people, and I happened to be the second one. And it was they were giving out a copy of Saturday Morning RPG on the PS4, and then a copy of Breach and Clear. And the person who was picked first picked the other one, so I got Breach and Clear, which is working out because the game's apparently really expensive. I still have it sealed, but I can't get rid of games, so we'll see if I ever get a Vita and can play that. Next, we got another Homebrew Repro re-release section, and these are the boxed ones. So some of these are official re-releases. We have 24 of them. Of those games, we got games like Mr. Gimmick, but then we have the official Metal Storm, the official Holy Diver, the Street Fighter 230th, the Mega Man X and 230, or whatever those were, those stupid chase cart BSs. We got Terranigma. We got, I even got Reggie's Radical Adventure, and a game I searched for my whole life, Spy vs. Spy 2, The Island Caper, which I should do a video on this Christmas to talk about why that's so special. Next, we got the Atari 2600. Who cares? Just kidding. That one I picked up from I picked up a complete Atari at that same Savers for, I think I got for $100, and it was in the box, a handful of games. It was really good condition, so $100 was more than I wanted to spend, but it's kind of a rite of passage to have a boxed Atari in your game room, even though it's in my master closet. But of those games, and I picked up a few extras since then. I had a customer at Acura drop me off just some loose games. He's also the guy who gave me the box Genesis I have and a few other of my box Genesis games. But I got 7 loose, 1 boxed, and 1 mystery cart. I mean, it's all the standard Pac-Man, combat, stuff like that. I have no idea what the mystery cart is. I should plug that bad boy in and see what that is. But going on, we got PC games, which I do have some PC games. I don't have any old big box ones. I have 4 actual PC games, and then the rest are 18 indie box games with 1 collector's edition. The 1 collector's edition being the World of Warcraft 50th anniversary. Of those, I have the Axiom Verge indie box, the Super Meat Boy, Torchlight 2. I have XCOM 2 because at the time I wanted to play it so bad, I actually went to GameStop and pre-ordered a PC game, and the guy was like, no one does that. I found a copy of Diablo 2, like I said, the WoW 50th anniversary. And we're getting down to the nitty gritty. We got the Commodore 64. I have 1 game, Spy vs. Spy 3, Arctic something or other. Yeah, I love Spy vs. Spy. Maybe someday I'll play this game. We got the Famicom Disk System too, and I got 2 games for that. Doki Doki Panic, which everyone has to have because it's Super Mario 2. And then The Secret of Mirimasa Castle, a game that I would love to play. I have it on my 3DS, I downloaded it, but I want to play it and review it for the channel. So one of these days, maybe I can figure out how to play that. I have 2 Master System games. I got those from when I did the Video Games Monthly. Those are Rambo and Space Harrier. And that about covers it. We have a few other things. I got the Coleco mini arcades. I got the Coleco Evolved mini arcades. But those are all the titles. And it's been pretty nice. It's nice going. It's kind of crazy to see how many games I have, but I'm really happy the way I set it up. Let me know what you think. My voice is tired. I'm gonna head out of here. My wife would like to tell you a little about the collection too. So it's been so nice getting a hold of you. I will see you next time, and let's see what Jen has to say.
I just would like to show the people some of the best games.
Hold on 1 second. Look.
Hey.
What are you trying to do?
I just want to show some of the people.
Wait, what are you trying to do?
Okay, I just want to show the people some good games.
Alright, good.